Hi, everybody. I am going to go ahead and get started. It is 10:30. Today, I am going to be going through an overview of Intuit Field Service Management, QuickBooks' work order scheduling and dispatching system. It integrates with QuickBooks Desktop or QuickBooks Online. Today, I'm going to be showing you QuickBooks Desktop, which um, it's really, 50-50. Most people are using desktop and then most people are using online. Um, I just wanted to quickly go over a little bit of my information. So I am the owner of Field Service Advisors. I'm a qualified solutions provider with Intuit, and I am featured on QuickBooks' national website, and you can find me at quickbooks.corrigo.com/local experts, and my website, fieldserviceadvisors.com, is right on the list, the third website down. You can contact me directly at rebecca@fieldserviceadvisors.com. Or you could reach one of my staff at info@fieldserviceadvisors.com. And our direct line is 651-927-8850. So what is Intuit Field Service Management? It's QuickBooks' work order scheduling system, and it's cloud-based. It's really ideal for any service-based company. So if you are doing service work, Intuit Field Service Management probably is right for you. So here are some of the benefits of using Intuit Field Service. You can easily schedule and dispatch jobs. You can easily track service history. You can locate your technicians with GPS. And of course, you can keep an electronic copy of all of your work orders, and you can track time on jobs. And we're also going to go through some preventative maintenance today as well. So here is the pricing. If you've got between 1 and 10 people on the system, it's $35 per user per month. When you go over 10 users, it goes down to $31. And when you go over 40 users, it goes down to $28. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is the home screen for Intuit Field Service Management. You've got your colorful tabs here at the top, letting you know how to navigate. I'm going to go ahead and create a few work orders and send them to a technician of mine out in the field. And then I'm going to complete those work orders and then send them back to QuickBooks. And I'll also show you some preventative maintenance as well. And then show you running a report to invoice. So let's go ahead and start on the customer tab today. And I'm going to choose a customer of mine and click this new work order button. And that'll immediately take us right into the first step of that work order wizard. So you can go ahead and do the drop down here to select a site, or you can add another site if you're going to be servicing a new location. And then that would be available here in the drop down for you to select. I do have customers that have hundreds of locations for each client, and they are all available here in that drop down. At this point, you would confirm the information with the client and then proceed to the next step if everything looks good. The one thing you do want to confirm is that they have an email on file, because the technician is going to be needing that to send an invoice from the field or a signature on the work order if they're not accepting a payment from the field. So then I'm going to say next, and now I'm moving on to the second step of the work order wizard. And today I'm going to say the customer doesn't have any heat. You could go ahead and type a detailed description if you need to. If not, you can move right on. This button that says site service, you can see all the work order history for each of those work orders by opening those up. So I'm going to go ahead and say next, and I'm going to say it's going to be a scheduled work order today, and I'm going to choose my technician, Craig, and I'm going to move it up here because he's got another work order that he hasn't yet started. It says it's waiting for pickup. The color lets you know what's going on. Red means that it would be overdue if it hasn't been picked up by the scheduled start time of 10:30, or if it's red, it would be an emergency. And then this blue color would be, it would be picked up. And this black color here is the work order that we're currently scheduling. So I'm going to go ahead and give them a 2-hour arrival window. And I am going to say next and finish. And now it's going to assign a work order number. And I'm going to go ahead and find it here in my pending view. And then I'll be able to see it here on my dispatch board as well. And you can drag and drop from this area here. I can see that sound is an alert letting me know that the work order has changed. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up my iPad on the screen. And of course, you can use an Android device as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and choose Intuit Field Service. And I can see I've got one work order waiting for me to get picked up. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. Let's go ahead and, oh, okay, so now I have two work orders. There it is, that work order we created. And I'm going to change the status to pick up and start. So as the work gets started, you can refresh this and you can see now that the work order has turned green to let you know that the work's been started. You can see there in the right-hand corner of that small box the status of that job. Okay, so now the work's been started, what are we doing today? There's no heat. And as I select start on this work order, if I do have that time card module, it will start tracking the time. So if I go to here to time card, I can see if I click on my technician, Chris, that you can see that the work order has been started. It doesn't have a time assigned to it yet because I haven't yet finished it. So as I finish, I'll pull this time card back up. So you can have the time card feeding, the work order feeding the time card. That'll then move over to QuickBooks' weekly timesheet. Or you could have a punch in, punch out method of tracking time, whatever you would prefer. Okay, so you can go ahead and click on the customer's number if you wanted to call them. You can open up a map if you needed directions. I know we've already arrived, but I wanted to show you that. And you can also open up that service history by clicking on this site to show you all of the work order history so the technician can view any of those work orders. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and complete this job. And then I'm going to tap my finger into the white box and then use this microphone to speak a note about what I had accomplished on the job. Customer called in because there was no heat. I was able to replace a coil on the back of the unit, and now the furnace is working fine. I was on site for 2 hours period. Continue, and I'm going to mark that I used a furnace. Done, completed. Okay, and now I'm going to go over here to the invoice. So why I mark this job as completed first is because I wouldn't be able to take a payment in the invoice section without completing the work order. So I'm going to go ahead and hit add new line item here, and I'm going to hit the magnifying glass. And now I'm going to search here in the search box for my labor item. And I did say I was on site for 2 hours. I left my labor rate blank because depending upon what I am doing, my labor changes. So that gives me the flexibility to go ahead and put any labor rate in I want. Okay, so now I am done because my coil, oh, I do have to add my coil, that's right. Let's see. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get a payment now. So first I'll get a signature from the client. So I'll turn my iPad around. Yes, they've accepted. Now I'm gonna get a signature from them. And now I'm gonna send that off to them. And I'm gonna hit the send here. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit the square with the arrow through it again, and now I'm gonna get a payment. So we're gonna get a check today. If you do have QuickBooks' merchant services connected to your QuickBooks, the card, you would be able to punch in the card number and charge the card. So I can help you set that up and connect that to your QuickBooks. Just send me and my staff an email. We'd be happy to help you. Okay, so this is from I'm going to charge. Okay, so I've got a check. Now I'm going to email that off, a payment receipt off to the client. So now that I'm finished, you can come over here and you can see if I refresh my time card, you can see I did have, it took me 1 minute to complete that job. So you can see it does list the time for you exactly. And if you did pause that job and come back to it, you would see this work order listed here twice. And you do have the ability to input manual time records as well. So if you were doing work at the shop and you needed to input a manual time record, you could do that from your Android or your Apple device. Okay, so now I'm ready to go ahead and synchronize with QuickBooks. So I'm going to go ahead and open up QuickBooks, and I'm going to go to the File menu, and I'm going to synchronize. It's going to move that invoice right over. So if I did take a payment in the field, it is going to move that invoice right over. If I did not take a payment in the field, I would have to go into the browser on Field Service, and I would have to add my line items, just like I did from my iPad, and then I would approve the invoice and it would move right over. Corrigo is the company that designed Intuit Field Service Management for QuickBooks, and Corrigo is the one that does service, does all the technical support for Intuit, and they are available from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And Corrigo has been working with Intuit since 2007. So this is QuickBooks' product. So if you are interested in getting it, it would be Intuit that charges you. It would be Corrigo that offers the technical support. If you do decide to work with someone like myself, you would have a single point of contact at no additional fee. Okay, so now it's just gonna, and this synchronization you'd want to run once a day, and it's gonna move over all of your new customers that you've added and any changed customer records, as well as bringing over any invoices. And of course, it's gonna bring over any price list item changes. The technician cannot change the price list items from the field. Only the manager from the browser could do that. All right, and if you do have the inventory centers turned on in QuickBooks, it will update your on-hand counts for you if you did use any inventory items on your invoice when that invoice came over. So that's where you saw that van, because I do stock inventory items on my vans, so that's what that was. Okay, so this is that invoice that I told you about coming right over. All right. So it did come successfully over. Okay, so now let's go to the customer center. And you can see Nicole Johns here at the top. It is paid with a green paid stamp. And I did say that I was going to walk you through the preventative maintenance as well. So let's go back there. So let's just take the same customer, Nicole Johns, and let's add another. She's got one service agreement already, but how you add a preventative maintenance agreement is you would come here under this add button, and it is an additional module that you would have to add on. So let's say she wanted a semi-annual preventative maintenance plan for her furnace and her AC. Oops. I'll just say that. Okay, next. And we're going to say it's on the AC in the furnace. And it's just going to be a 1-year contract. And I'm going to go ahead and add a checklist. Okay, that's our checklist that we've created, and you would create that under the settings before you would go ahead and proceed with this step. And it's going to say every 12 months for 1 visit, and we're going to start on the AC unit in August. That sounds good. because it is the summertime. And now I'm going to add a checklist for the furnace. And I'm going to say every 12 months for one visit, and we're going to start that one in October. So now I have 2 visits lined up in August and October. And now I am finished. And I'm going to go under my work order tab under unassigned, and I'll be able to find it there. So these are all of my preventative maintenance. I just scheduled it for Nicole Johns. So a better area to view that would be under the list view, and it's going to be under schedule PMs. So this is where all of my preventative maintenance would come. And of course, I'm a little backed up here. So I can see this is the one that I've created, Nicole Johns. Okay, so how to assign that is I would then just hit edit assignment, and then I would go ahead and I would schedule it. And now it's an active work order. So now it's under pending, and this is the work order. And it would come up as a PM, and there's the checklist. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and do tune in every Wednesday at 10:30 Central Standard Time. Have a fabulous day, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.